It's time for the 10th video in which we dive into the secrets of Red Dead Redemption 2, at least in list form. Yes, that's right, with the tucked away curiosities I'll share with you today, it will mark 100 little secrets that you can find in this game, at least in total. So jump on your horses and prepare for some gaming.
Let's go, boy.
There will be timestamps in the description. If you happen to know about something, feel free to skip it, and if you know all of them, feel free to skip the video entirely, completely guilt-free. Anyway, everything that needs to be said has been said now, so please enjoy 10 Red Dead Redemption 2 secrets many players missed, part 10. Before we get properly going with this video, I would like to spare a moment to talk about today's sponsor, the Ridge Wallet. The Ridge Wallet is the future of carrying our bank cards, a small, compact wallet that holds up to 12 cards plus room for cash, coming in over 30 different colours and styles, including carbon fibre, burnt titanium, and my new personal favourite, forged ember. Just look at how snazzy this looks. Looking sleek isn't the only perk these fancy wallets offer. They come packing with RFID blocking technology to swerve digital pickpocketers, leaving no chance for a contactless theft, and these fellas are durable. I even ran one over in a previous sponsorship that I did with Ridge, twice actually, and aside from picking up some dirt from the tyres, they held up brilliantly. And all of that comes in a far less bulky design than your typical wallet. Now, Ridge also do key cases to keep your keyring much more organised and less clunky in the pocket. My favourite thing about these wallets is the function they offer without compromising on style. With all the designs available, you're guaranteed to find a wallet to suit your style and a matching key case, so when it comes to fashion, you never have to compromise. Over the past couple of years, I've got my hands on a few of these, and another thing that I love is the build quality is incredible. These bad boys have over 50,000 5-star reviews and come with a lifetime warranty. Should the worst happen to your new sparkling wallet, you will have nothing to worry about. With Christmas coming up, the Ridge wallet makes for the perfect gift. Head over to ridge.com/Fizhy via the link in the description for up to 40% off up until the 22nd of December. That's ridge.com/Fizhy. And now, back to the video. The first secret I was made aware of by this Twitter user, so all credit goes to you, sir. We need to head to the abandoned little town of Lakay in the bayou. From here we will need to find a building that has sunken into the swamp. Once you've located it, head inside and then head straight to the back room and climb up onto a platform. Now you will come face to face with the cat skull mask, which you can wear on your head. For some reason. I didn't want my cowboy hat anyway. This cat mask is so powerful it made the lighting bug out. However, if you want to make some moves looking like a deranged horror movie serial killer, then definitely pick this one up. It's a cool, unique article of clothing that you can find off the beaten path. So if you didn't know it was there before, you do now, pick it up. Secret number 2 takes us to this spot on the map, near the burnt down town of Limpany. A brief ride from the crispiest town in the game, we can find more burnt area. This is what the game refers to as the brush fire. However, you could probably deduce what just about happened here to cause it to be, well, you know, burnt. In a lockbox you can find a pamphlet for volatile fire bottles, and this appears to be the remains of a camp. Underneath the tent you can find a fella who appears to have seen better days. It appears he was killed when the place went alight, but whilst in his sleep. If the volatile fire bottles are true to their name and are truly volatile, then my theory is one of them discharged at his camp and killed him and then caused this massive fire. But why there's so much burnt shit in this general area, I'm gonna be honest, I really couldn't tell you. Our third secret brings us to this spot just off the road to the northeast of Shady Belle, where you would be forgiven for missing the remains of a man laying face down in the mud. But there is something irregular about this body. One of his arms appears to be that of a small child. This elderly man marks the point of interest known as Withered Arm. During the main story mission American Distillation, Archibald McGregor will mention his uncle Reginald having the hand of a small child at the end of a grown man's arm. People have theorised that this is Archibald McGregor's uncle Reginald, but in my opinion it's almost certainly not, as he said that the arm of a child was at the end of a grown man's arm. However, this arm is well and truly withered. It's a very small arm. How or why he came to die here is unclear, and why nobody has come to recover his body is another curious question. Secret number 4 provides some much needed answers that correlate with chapter 4 of the main story. However, it's located here on one of the islands just to the east of the bayou. For context, we find ourselves in the middle of a feud between the families of the Greys and the Braithwaites, who each believe the other has stolen their gold. Inside a lockbox at this location, we will find who really stole the gold. The letter reads as follows. Letter to Douglas Gray from Lucille Braithwaite. June 12th, 1806. My dearest Douglas, the mere act of writing your name weakens me with longing. My exile in Connecticut has endured barely 3 weeks, but it already feels like a lifetime since I last saw your wonderful smile. Why should the family into which I was born, and a surname that was imposed upon me, dictate whom I can and cannot love? Like you always say, however, there are so many less fortunate than ourselves, and subject to far worse partiality and narrow-mindedness. Please take all that gold to the group I told you about. It should provide them with enough funding for another 2 years of operation, so they can keep pressure on Congress to abolish the importation of slaves into this country once and for all. Our two families are so blinded by avarice and bitterness that either they will not realise it is missing, or they will assume the other has stolen from them. Then come for me, my love, as we planned. We will flee somewhere far away, down to South America or across Europe, where we can simply live our lives as Douglas and Lucille, not as Master Gray and Miss Braithwaite. Yours always, Lucille. So the truth is, the family feud between the Greys and the Braithwaites existed far before the gold was stolen, and as it turns out, the gold was stolen by Lucille Braithwaite with the assistance of Douglas Gray, and was used to fund groups whose purpose was to abolish slavery. An interesting plot twist, to say the very least. Secret number 5 is a tragic story that can be found along the shoreline of the Lannahechee River. Here we will find the remains of a poor man in an especially cruel neck restraint. On his body we can find a letter that identifies him as Elijah. It appears he's been dead here for some time and was an escaped slave. The letter details how he was kept at Old Harry Fen in horrible conditions, a place we've mentioned in these lists before, and as we know was utilised as an operational hub by a slave catcher. Besides that, Elijah details his plans to escape to Canada and rejoin his family up there. However, Old Harry Fen isn't that far away from this spot at all, so it's safe to assume that he didn't make it very far on his escape plan. This is the sad story of a man who only wanted to be free. Secret number 6 brings us to this spot on the map to the north, in Amberino, where we will find a location known as Fairvale Shanty. Try your best to not be distracted by the fragrant looking flowers. The building here tells an interesting environmental story. Outside we can find the remains of a man with a gun. He appears to have been shot and died. Inside there is another man who was shot and killed. The conclusion we draw from this is they must have killed each other. Also inside this building we can find a lockbox, inside which there is a gold nugget, a bag of jewellery and a platinum pocket watch. It appears these two blokes killed each other over the treasure. Secret number 7 brings us to a bridge just outside of the Wapiti Reservation for Native Americans. It's here where we may find a flock of birds that will fly back towards where we were before, Fairvale Shanty, to what appears to be a sealed cave to the east of it. It is here where we will make our latest friend.
Hello there, friend. How are you? I'm rather lonely. You see, I'm too big. I haven't got any friends because I'm too big.
Is that so?
Yes. Yes, it is so. That's sort of why I said it. That and because I was lonely and wanted to talk. Maybe we could be friends. I've always wanted a real friend. Someone to discuss the human condition with. you know?
I don't know much about that.
Neither do I. Be well, friend. Be well. How have you been?
Okay, I suppose.
That's good. I've been lonely. Very lonely. I'm faced with a stark and unpleasant choice. Be lonely or get murdered. Not very exciting as it goes.
Huh. I suppose pick lonely?
Did you miss me?
I suppose so.
Yes, I missed you, too. I've been quite lonely out here. One day, I long to have a wife. But women can be so cruel. Nobody wants large children. They eat too much. It's very sad.
Who are you?
Well, I'm not telling you that. I like to be anonymous. I like to blend in. That's a joke. I'm well known for my humor, you see. Anyway, be well. Hello there, friend. How are you? Don't be afraid. People think I'm a monster, but I'm not. It's John, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are you well?
Yes. How are you?
Happy and lonely, like everyone.
Sure.
Is it as bad as they say out there?
As who says?
As the animals?
Yeah.
I thought so. Anyway, be well.
He appears to be a big guy who's isolated himself from society because he's so large. However, it does make him lonely. It's quite a sad thing, really, and whilst I doubt he means any harm, there is still something creepy about this guy. For our 8th secret of the day, we're headed to this small island to the west of the Braithwaite Manor estate. It's on this small island where, in a lockbox, we can find the cat Eye Trinket, which permanently increases the duration of fortifying tonic effects by 20%. But it's so out the way on this island that many may not even realise it's there. Secret number 9 is less of a secret and more of a rare occurrence at camp, as in all my playthroughs this has never happened to me. But at Horseshoe Overlook, strangers can find your camp.
In a circus?
No, sir, we are speculators. We been out west? Ain't nothing there no more, truth be told, so...
Who's this creepy-looking fool anyhow?
Forgive my friend. He's simple-minded. Dropped on his head as a baby.
So now you're traveling east.
I guess.
Well, we've been hearing talk about problems, and, well, we got enough problems of our own here. We don't need no more.
Who does, sir? Who does indeed?
So I'm guessing we understand one another.
I'm hoping so, sir. You know, many of life's most avoidable tragedies stem from our great inability at basic comprehension. At least that's the way I've always seen things.
Oh. Goodbye.
Hello out there.
Well, that was worrying.
We ain't that hard to find here.
I know.
And finally, secret number 10 is relatively well known, as it's taking us to the Armadillo General Store, which can only really be accessed in the epilogue. When you head inside the General Store, you may notice a portrait of a familiar face.
Who's that?
I don't know. It's just a little portrait somebody gave me once. I always quite liked it. Why?
No reason. Just seemed familiar. Anyway.
John brushes off its familiarity pretty quickly, but this is the strange man from Red Dead Redemption 1's I Know You Stranger missions, in which John finds himself the muse of a seemingly otherworldly entity that appears as a strange man in a top hat. It appears as if his portrait being present in Herbert Moon's shop is something of a charm. The town has been stricken with plague, and the shopkeeper Herbert Moon appears to be the only one unaffected, Furthermore, in the strange man's cabin in the bayou, there's plenty to suggest a connection between him and Mr. Moon here. All in all, it's pretty creepy, but yes, also relatively, if not extremely, well known. But I always enjoy pondering over it, so there. And would you look at that, that brings us nicely to the end of today's video. Now, thank you of course for watching. I really hope that you've enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends, all that wonderful stuff. That would be massively appreciated. And if you like history, be sure to check out my history channel Decades via a link in the description. But if that's not something that you're into, then please don't force yourselves, of course. But anyway friends, for today, this is where our paths diverge. Thank you all for watching again, and hopefully I'll be seeing you all very soon with another video at some point. But until next time, please, take care, and goodbye.